Hey, welcome back to Rock Stardust. I hope you've had a great week. Hey, today we're going to have a look at one of Scotland's finest bands, and to be honest, one of the finest guitar rock bands of the 1980s. We're talking about Big Country, and we're going to take a dive into SteelTown, which was the second album released by the band, following on from the brilliant Crossing. This came out in October 84, and was quite a remarkable album. And so often with bands, it's hard to follow up a great album, like a brilliant debut like the Crossing. But with SteelTown, you get one of the finest follow-up albums because it's so heavy and deep and dark. Like, it's quite menacing. It's not as bright and uplifting as the Crossing, but it's got a special quality, and the production is quite dense. It's a little bit muddy. So for some people, that was a bit of a criticism, and maybe why it wasn't quite as successful as like the debut. But it adds to the atmosphere, right? Of that whole thing, of that whole SteelTown, collapse of the steel industry, which so much of the album's about. And, Stuart Adamson reflected on the album and SteelTown, as the squandering of human potential. So it's very deep, dark, and the collapse of those steelworks at the time, a lot of Scots migrated to the Midlands and the UK there and England to work, and so many lost their jobs in the early 80s. So there's a real theme to it, and it comes through as well. The band themselves are fantastic. You've got Stuart Adamson. He writes all the lyrics on the album. He's an absolute poet. He's one of the great songwriters, as well as a brilliant guitar player. And his work with the Skids is phenomenal too. So leading up to forming Big Country, he was already a profoundly, awesome guitar player. His lyrics tell amazing stories, and his voice is just full of emotion. He's not like the perfect singer, but it's perfect for this band. Mark Brzezinski on drums has to be one of the most underrated drummers of all time. He's absolutely brilliant. I hear elements of Neil Peart, Rush. I hear elements of Kings of Leon. In fact, I hear a lot of Kings of Leon coming through their music. I can tell Big Country was one of their favourite bands, or definitely an influence. But Mike Brzezinski's drumming is outstanding. Like, he's a top-class musician. You've got Tony Butler on bass, who's awesome as well. Tony and Mark had done a lot of work with the Pretenders and other bands that doing studio work. So, and Pete Townsend's solo album, one of his albums as well. I'm trying to recall the name. So, it's such a great musicians there. And then you got Bruce Watson, who was a great foil for Stuart and did a lot of really good work as well. Combining with Stuart Adamson's guitar. The two of them made amazing sound together. Very distinctive. And I saw, the lineup with Mike Peters, here in NZ, some years ago now, but they did a tour of SteelTown, so I think they did a really good job. And Bruce's son was playing guitar as well. It was cool as you met those guys afterwards. That was pretty cool. So yeah, look, let's have a dig into the album. Okay, there's the album cover, so you can see the SteelTown reference. It's the back. You got the Mercury label and the lyric sheet there as well. All right. All lyrics by Stuart Adamson, all the band music credits shared. I love that with the band. And so capping off the beginning of the album is the Urgent Flame of the West. It's a driving track. It kicks the album off brilliantly. It grabs your attention. It's a strong rocker. It's got a lot of atmosphere and attack to it. Yeah, it's cool. East of Eden was the second track off the album. That was released as a single. Again, flows on really well. And another sort of driving song, some great guitar work. The band, really on fire there. And it's a cool track. And East of Eden's got something, again, very special about it, brooding, but it's got a pretty catchy, uplifting chorus too. Now, track 3, SteelTown. Oh my God, this is just an amazing track. It's the highlight of the album and one of their finest ever moments. Here I stand with my own kin, and at the end of everything, finally the dream is gone. I've lost the will to carry on, basically. It's so heartfelt. The best version I've heard of this, though, is at live at Barrowlands, when that is just phenomenal. Like it's, far out. That's passionate. That's amazing. It drives so wickedly hard. The guitar is so amazing between him and Bruce. Special version. Can't recall a year, but I know Stu was wearing a kilt. It's a great version. I think it's a bit later than that. Amazing, but on here the recording is fantastic, and it's a brilliant song. The guitar parts are quite tricky to play as well. They're both doing separate parts, which happens a lot with the two, and it's just a remarkable song. SteelTown, legendary. Yeah. Where the Roses Sown is another driving song. It's got more great guitar work and heartfelt vocals. Dig that. Come Back to Me is a ballad. Come back to me. It just fits the album, finishes that side off, which has been quite full on and quite hard out, quite heavy to that point. Side 2, number 1 track is Tall Ships Go. What another way to start the second album. That's just remarkable. You've got this brilliant guitar intro, Stuart and Bruce together, the lead guitar harmonies and driving it down the neck and sort of creating this vision of the tall ships, and it's powerful. It's a great song. It's one of the underrated gems. I love Tall Ships Go. Girl with grey eyes. Always see the sad grey eyes. Then becomes the winter. It's heartfelt, very heartfelt, very atmospheric. Excellent production on that, and a great Stuart vocal, very emotive. Rain Dance is so cool. It's got this sort of driven guitar intro. It kicks off and the chorus is uplifting, and then after the chorus it's got this really great Celtic, Celtic guitar, Scottish sounding, that kicks in there, which works really well. And The Great Divide, it's a good track as well, and it's quite Stuart's barking out those statements in this. It's a strong song, and it fits the album and the mood of the album. The texture of it works great. It's got brilliant bass playing on it. I think that's one of the highlights of this track, is that the way that bass, Tony's bass drives through. Yeah, it's really good. And then finishes the album with one of their greatest ever songs, one of my favourite ever big country tracks to me, a highlight of the album too, which is Just a Shadow. It summarises that, all the hope and dreams that were shattered, and with the collapse of that industry, and you know, and it's also a metaphor of just a shadow of the man I could be, like a garden in the forest that the world will never see. What lyrics too, you know, like what a poet. The lyrics on this album are just remarkable. But Just a Shadow is a stunning track. The band just fit together so well on this song, and it's very special to me. Yeah, no, it's a brilliant song. This album actually went to #1 in the UK, all right, briefly. So it was their only #1 album, but it didn't stay there for that long. And it did chart in other countries as well, but never did anything like what The Crossing did in the States. So there's Big Country, SteelTown, a terrific album. You know, their first few albums were just stunning. And they have the right to be called one of the great rock guitar band, you know, of the 80s. And real shame that they couldn't keep on that projection moving forward. I know the C did pretty well, but they kind of dropped away a little bit, and they did come back into form a bit later on as well, with the Buffalo Skinners. That was a really powerful album. I really dig that. But again, it sort of didn't get any real traction, and it was a shame, and it sort of led to what happened later. I don't want to get into that. But hey, just wanted to look at an amazing band, Big Country, so influential, so unique, and so often go under the radar. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give the video a like. Really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. I can grow the channel and let you know immediately when I do these videos and other things. You know, I look at all sorts of music that is of, it's not so much eclectic, it's mainly around rock, but it's all about what I'm passionate about. And I like to highlight some albums and artists at times that don't get enough recognition as well. So yeah, please do like and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section. It'd be great to hear that. And have an awesome week. Thanks again for watching Rock Stardust. Cheers.